For our media project, we're producing a 2-minute beginning to a thriller horror film. Before deciding the setting for our film, we browsed through a variety of familiar horror films for which we could use for inspiration. After much deliberation, we finally came to agreement that our 2-minute thriller should be set in a bathroom. One of the main inspirational clips for this idea came from the film What Lies Beneath, which had a particularly prominent bathroom scene, which borders on the thriller horror genre.
We also looked at the camera angles used in other films, such as Them and The Strangers, to see how the idea of someone being watched is conveyed by the cinematography. But we wanted to produce something away from like the typical horror slasher film, which is why we chose like the bathroom scene, because you don't find, well you do, but not so many, and we just wanted to emphasise the thriller aspect of the film.
We decided early on that we wouldn't actually show the murderer to sort of heighten suspense, and we just used shots of his actions and his limbs when like something bad was about to happen, and we'd also sort of focus more on the victims than the murderer, so the audience would then sympathise more with the victim. We came up with lots of ideas for names, but our favourite is Axe to Grind because it's linked with the murderer, because he kills his victim. He's like obsessed with killing women, so it links back to Axe to Grind.
Our film begins with a 2-minute bathroom scene where a woman is killed by an anonymous murderer. Our actress, Grace, is featured in the bathroom. We aim to create tension by using montage by mixing shots of Grace in the bath with the murderer entering the house, etc. We also wanted to include some shots from the murderer's point of view to incorporate an uneasy atmosphere by creating the uncomfortable idea of someone being watched. We are still uncertain as to the fate of the murderer, but our initial idea for the plot is following his journey from a distressful childhood, resulting with his mental downfall and an obsession with murdering women. We've had 2 ideas for titles. The first one is a girl lying on the bathroom floor and like blood seeping out of her head and like draining through the lines in the tiles to making the titles, or at the very beginning where they come up underwater and then when you test the temperature of the bath, like her hand messes up the titles. And yeah, that's it.
Any questions for Maxwell? Get.
Are you going to have any other actors apart from Grace?
Yes. Murderer.
So how many actors? Have you auditioned anyone?
We're not happy.
We're thinking about using Tom.
My other question is, seeing as the filming is dawning on us quite quickly, have you actually decided how Grace is going to be killed?
She's not going to be killed in the documentary.
We're not actually going to show the actual murder happening.
Well, you said you didn't want the killer entering the house without being dead. So what, she's been killed before the killer gets up into the bathroom?
We're planning on using a sort of like distorted sort of film, so as if it's sort of like filmed really badly, and sort of like cuts out and using sort of like white noise and strange
like home
noises.
video effect.
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah. Oh, sounds like
Max out.
Any other questions?
Brilliant. Thank you, guys.